2017 detached market recap. Holy moly, were we in for a ride this year. Stay tuned to this episode of Prime Properties TV. I promise it'll be worth it. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. I'm so glad you could join us today. First off, happy holidays, and if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Hope everyone got to spend some time with the family over the weekend, and if you're into Boxing Day, good luck finding deals today. My favorite time about the holidays, other than the time with family and friends, is that the wheels come off my diet progressively as we got deeper and deeper into December. I've had some glorious meals as of late, but there's a special spot for a nice pepperoni pizza from Domino's and a beer with the fiance for me. And trust me, we've had our fair share of those because sometimes we don't want to cook in December. Yummy. So in this episode, we'll be continuing on with the 2017 market recap. We'll be getting very specific today, specifically into detaches. I think this is one of the ones that everyone's kind of been waiting to keep an eye on to see how badly the detached market has fallen off the wagon this year. So if you guys want to follow along, all the stats are available in the Dropbox links below. So let's rewind the story to the start of 2016 in this chart, okay? You'll see that the average detach in the GTA was about 850,000. Right? Remember those good old days? Well, the market got crazy hot and you could see the price spike $200,000 throughout 2016. At the height of the price in 2017, this year in mid-April, the average price was about $1.2 million. That's 33% increase from the start of 2016. From then on out, we've been seeing a price drop because of the foreign buyer tax, and the lowest point we got to was the average of 960,000, sub 1 million, and this is what I would say is kind of happening right now until we start stabilizing in the $1 million range for detaches. I'm putting stabilizing in air quotes because there's a good chance it could still continue going down, given the fact that the stress test is coming in a few weeks. I've also made this comment before. There's a threshold. There really is that a family can pay for a detach, and which is around $1.25 million, which is probably likely the limit. And you gotta keep remember, with the new stress test, in order to support a house of that caliber, you'll need a family household income of around $200,000 to $250,000. That's $100,000 or $125,000 per working adult. That's totally possible of two high income earners, like two lawyers and accountants, but that's really pushing the limit. I believe we'll stay around that point for a while because people aren't going to be stretching themselves to be buying detaches of this price point, as everyone's kind of pushing towards the affordable sector, which is like the towns or the condos. But now for a sec, let's separate the areas while we're talking about detaches. We're going to talk about Toronto proper, which hasn't felt the hit of the foreign buyers tax as much as the 905. If we want to compare prices, the cost of a detach in Toronto is about the same price as last year in September. So yes, the height of all this was really high, but we're slowly slowing down when it comes to how fast the prices are dropping. We're de-accelerating. From the start of the year, the average price has dropped about $60,000, which includes the peak. So in terms of percentages, that's like 4.5%. If you look at the sales, you see it start picking up in September and continues to be stronger throughout the latter half of this year because people are trying to buy before the stress test. Just remember, this is an average. A good detach in a good area will still get multiple offers. So please don't take this as advice from me, indicating that the prices in your particular area that you're looking at is going to continue dropping. This is an overall market in the 416, okay? Anything along the subway line and east of Danforth, less than $1.2 million, has been pretty hot in the last 2 months, just an FYI. Now let's get to the 905. The 905 is harder to categorize because it includes areas like Mississauga, Brampton, Vaughan, Richmond Hill, and Markham. There are nodes in each neighborhood that are still doing surprisingly well, similar to the 416. A good property in a good area near a highway is going to get multiple offers. However, there are multiple properties sitting around not selling. If we look at all the numbers since the start of the year, prices have dropped $100,000. That's a lot. In terms of percentages, we're looking at a difference of 10%. That's double 2 times what we saw the drop of in 416. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what is contributing to the massive drop off in the average prices of the detach. And that's some serious skewing. Yeah, I think I just invented a word in the process. But bear in mind, the 905 market is significantly larger than the 416 and it accounts for about 75% of every single detached property in GTA. So if you're watching this video and wondering if you should buy in the 905 right now, from an average perspective, I don't recommend it. I wouldn't. I would hold off until at least March or February to see how the stress test is going to affect the market in the 905. I suspect it will. However, if you're looking at a hot area like Maple, Arundel, or South Unionville, this may not even apply to you because it's really hot in those areas as well. And finally, if you look at the trends from a month-to-month perspective, you'll see that we're still sliding downwards in terms of prices. However, we're starting to see sales activity increase in the detaches. So if you're one of those people timing the market, which I don't recommend anyone to do, there's a very, very fine line where the prices become the lowest it will with the prices at the same time going up. When that is, I really have no idea. If you make me answer that question for you, I would say we're about to hit the bottom, I think, in the 416 very soon. Probably a few more months left in the 905 before we start seeing price increase in the detaches. At the end of the day, guys, most people who buy detaches buy it for personal home and family, so speculation of pricing does not matter. Thank you guys for watching. If you learned something, give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to Prime Props TO right here. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. And make sure you guys subscribe to the VIP mailing list for Prime Props TO, where you get weekly insights and first access to investment opportunities. You can do so in the description below. And make sure you guys share this with family and friends. Until next time, happy real estating. Prime Tune.